Donald Trump takes part in his favorite pastime, leaving Republicans twisting in the wind. This is just another day. Well, the Republican shutdown continues on for another day, registered trademark, and the completely powerless Republicans who control all three branches of government are really at a loss for what to do next.
People have said, are you going to change your strategy? And I've said to you all very plainly in good faith, we don't have a political strategy here. I don't have a strategy. We're just trying to do the right thing.
How noble, but also challenging, right? Because what's right and what's wrong are open to interpretation. So on one hand, some could see the speaker swearing in Representative Adelita Grijalva to be the right thing since she was elected and she's also the deciding vote to force a vote on the Epstein files. And Republicans say they totally want that. But on the other hand, maybe not swearing her in and telling Americans this is the right thing.
The evidence we've gathered does not implicate President Trump in any way.
Oh my God, that's such great news! I just feel bad for those people in the past who could have used James Comer's distinguished level of investigative prowess. You know, how other people who were wrongfully implicated in crimes like Madoff, Weinstein, and Cosby. What's so sad about the Republican Party is that they're not just treating Americans like they're dumb, they're trying to pretend that they're dumb too.
Do you owe it to the American people to at least be negotiating?
Well, I think we are. We have negotiated. I don't know what there is to negotiate.
What else is there to negotiate? We cut healthcare funding, healthcare costs go up. End of negotiation. I mean, my God, I wonder if John Thune pretends to be that stupid when he's in a fight with his wife. Honey, I'm not really sure what else I can do for you. I've been more than willing to hear you out on all the mistakes you've made. On multiple occasions, I've let you carry my golf bag in from the car, and I've used the communication tools that our therapist recommended to express how much I despise your side of the family. So, I'm not really sure what you want me to do here, babe. As many of you know, I mean, except for John Thune, the government shutdown is over the ACA healthcare subsidies for millions of Americans that Republicans cut for 2026. Republicans claim that they'd be more than willing to negotiate on them, but only if the Democrats would vote to open the government first, thereby relinquishing all the leverage that would be needed to actually get those healthcare concessions that they want. Of course, Democrats want to extend them so that more Americans can receive healthcare, while Republicans want to keep saying the same thing that they've said for years.
You know, let's bring free market competition back into the healthcare industry. Let's bring back, way more consumer choice. Rick Scott, an expert in healthcare, right? He's working with people like myself, leadership, the White House. Let's design the Republican plan.
Yes, excellent choice. Rick Scott truly is an expert when it comes to healthcare, but mostly on the fraud side. See, back before his failed bid to play Voldemort, Scott led a company called Columbia HCA, which faced a federal fraud investigation over Medicare. And over the course of the FBI's investigation, Scott resigned as CEO of HCA Hospital, took part in a civil deposition where he asserted his Fifth Amendment rights 75 times. His company pled guilty to 14 felonies and was fined $1.7 billion, which at the time was the biggest Medicare fraud case in American history. So sure, expert. The Republican Party is in such lockstep with their lies about being good faith negotiators on these healthcare subsidies that Donald Trump even hosted them at the White House today to reward them for so diligently keeping up the con.
This lunch this afternoon is about thanking Republicans for staying on the same page, about singing from the same sheet of music. There are a few Republicans who are worried about the Obamacare subsidies ending at the end of the year and what that means politically down the road, and they've talked about that. But they're saying the president is ready to negotiate on that point, right? But you have to open the government first.
Why on earth would Democrats trust this president in any negotiation ever? Trusting Trump at this point would be like the Amazon guy trusting Diddy that the crate of baby oil he's delivering is for moisturization purposes. And by the way, of all the things to trust Trump on, healthcare is not one of them.
But if we can end Obamacare and come up with a much better healthcare system that's much cheaper and much better, which is what we'll do. We're going to have a healthcare plan that's going to be second to none. I want to have a great healthcare bill and plan, and we will.
My God, Donald Trump's lies are so silly and childish, I'm surprised Matt Gaetz hasn't tried to fuck him. Lying is in Donald Trump's blood. Why do you think his ankles are so swollen? Those socks are filled with lies that have nowhere else to go. Today, Trump was asked about his demand to be compensated $230 million by the Justice Department, i.e., taxpayers, for the federal investigations into him, and he had this trustworthy response.
As far as all of the litigation and everything that's been involved, yeah, they probably owe me a lot of money. But if I get money from our country, I'll do something nice with it, like give it to charity.
How nice. I wonder if he'll not donate that money to the same veterans charity that he stiffed years ago. We are not dealing with some good faith negotiator here. I mean, hell, this guy can't even keep his word on a little home renovation.
Can you help us understand why we're seeing this demolition, considering the president said it would actually add to existing structures, this new ball?
Yeah, this was a bit of a surprise to many, especially the scope of the demolition that you're looking at. That is the historic East Wing of the White House. Back in July, when President Trump was talking about this ballroom project initially, he said that the ballroom wasn't even actually going to be touching the East Wing, so nothing there would change. But then a couple of days ago, he reversed that.
He reversed that? Is this like that time Lance Armstrong reversed his position on doping? Donald Trump does not reverse anything. He lies, he deceives, he spews nonstop bullshit. There is no reversing. Even when he does want to go in reverse, the gear shift has little L for lies. By the way, I'm well aware that the President of the United States does not drive his own car, and even if he did, it wouldn't be a stick. Mostly because he'd have a lot of trouble shifting, what with his tiny hands. Every single day since Republicans shut down the government, they stand in front of a podium and declare,
We're just trying to do the right thing.
But it's crucial to focus on what they believe the right thing is. To them, using the government shutdown as political leverage while everyday Americans are about to see their healthcare premiums skyrocket is the right thing. They think cutting $1 trillion from healthcare, which will hurt 11.8 million Americans, is the right thing. And this is the party that believes not swearing in an elected member of Congress as a way to protect Donald Trump's association with a pedophile is the right thing. Republicans have cut billions in federal funding from healthcare, from education, from food assistance, from science, from disaster relief. So I frankly understand why they're not opening the government, because the only thing they see its use for is tax cuts for billionaires. This is not a party who wants to provide for the citizens of their country. Mike Johnson said it himself.
And they go before cameras incredibly, and they just lie to the American people over and over. It's a stunning thing to watch.
It sure is. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.